You're about to get a glasses disclaimer. I'm a beauty. So, by the way, before you watch this video, you're gonna see me like this. And I'm gonna look cute, right? Because you can see those big eyes. But in reality, my glasses are like this. I realized at the ending of my video, I was wearing glasses. So I was like, I need to have an introduction. Because look at that. You can see me in there. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy. Bye. Hey everyone. Okay, so I have been wanting to do a blog in for forever, okay? Because I feel like there's a lot of videos out there, but I really could never find one that really touches on me, what I was looking for, what I was needing, the answers that I was longing for. So hopefully this will help you and you'll get a lot of your questions answered, and it's a blessing to you and your family. So we have 2 children that are in our custody right now, and we are in the process of adopting. So we have a little boy. He is 6 years old, and he's been with us since he was 4, and he's actually related to me on my mother's side, and he is the sweetest thing in the world. And we're so lucky and blessed that we get to have him in our life. And then we have a little girl that we got through foster care, and she is 3. And we are in the process of adopting her right now. So we're very excited. We just submitted our last form, and we are just waiting for a couple different little things that the House Good Shepherd is completing for us. And then the agency, what they need to do to go ahead and push everything to the court. And then we'll get our court date. So she's been our first experience, and I can tell you when they say paper pregnant, they are telling you the truth. The form after form after form, just staying on top of everything and making sure that that things are completed. What I've learned is I don't leave it in the hands of, the agency, in the hands of the foster care program, because honestly, I am the one that pushes. Like, I will call and be like, hey, is this completed? Was this done? So I recommend, if you're in that process right now, do not be afraid to push. Do not be afraid to call and to be on top of stuff, and to ask them if they submitted everything. Like, everything's in my calendar when things need to be submitted, and I will call and say, hey, just a reminder today, this needs to be submitted. Could you please email me once it is? Or can you give me a call, or whatever it might be. So I stay on top of it, because if not, I think at the beginning, you could be really timid and just be like, well, they know what they're doing. But my caseworker, this is her first adoption that she's ever done. So, there's things that they just have never learned before, didn't know that they need to do, or steps they need to take. So be on top of the people that are in charge of your case right now. If you're in the process of adopting through any kind of foster care or any kind of, agency, don't be afraid to call and ask and be on top of it. It's okay. You're allowed to be excited, you're allowed to be anxious, and you're allowed to express that. That is totally fine. So God definitely brought us on this journey. When I met my husband 11 years ago, I just always had a heart for adoption. I didn't know at that time that my husband and I were going to get married. I didn't know at that time that, we were going to have infertility issues. I didn't really know any of that. I thought we'd get married, have biological children, and then the thought of adoption would just be such a beautiful thing. But I didn't know that was the journey that God was instilling in my heart. At a very young age, actually, my mom and dad always tell me the story that when I was little, I was rocking my baby doll, and they said, who's that? And I was like, oh, that's my baby. I adopted her. And they're just like, where the heck did she come up with that? And as like I said, as I met my husband, and as I was realizing that we were getting serious and we were having all these talks, adoption did come up, and about my heart's desire. And at that time, My husband really never thought of it. And he was like, well, hey, listen, why don't we pray about it and see if that's what we're supposed to do. At that time, I just moved from New York to Maryland because we just got engaged, and I wanted to make sure, hey, am I marrying the right kind of person? You know, I want to make sure, is he really the person I think he is? And he definitely was beyond what I could ever imagine. But we were looking for a church to be able to make our own home. And as we were looking, every church we went to, I mean, everything was just on adoption. You know, and obviously, you know, the Gospels, you know, focus on, you know, being adopted by Christ, but they were talking about adoption, like adopting children. So it was just like amazing. And we were just like, well, I guess we know that adoption is definitely going to be something that God wants us to do. They cleared that up. And then as we got married, we started realizing, okay, this is, you know, getting pregnant is not as easy as we thought it was going to be. So when you're going through infertility, I would say that the thing that I struggled with most is just my worth. You know, I was like, man, I'm a woman. This is what I was made for. I was made to make babies. You know, what is my issue here? So I don't know how many countless times I would be like, you know, honey, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. Was just something that always came out of my mouth because I just felt like I was not doing what I was made to do. And, you know, you just never think about that one day you're going to struggle with infertility. I mean, you do everything. Like in the beginning of our marriage, we did everything that we could do not to get pregnant. And then coming to realize that infertility was real and we were struggling with that. You know, it was definitely very hard. Every Mother's Day that passed got frustrating, got emotional. I didn't really want to get on social media. I didn't really want to see all these things that are being posted, especially the whole, you know, pranks of, oh, I'm pregnant, you know, oh no, I'm not, you know. It was just a frustrating time. I loved babies. I loved when my friends got pregnant. I always was genuinely happy for them. But the sadness was definitely always in my heart, you know, wondering, what is God's plan? You know, I know that there's a promise set in my heart that I'm supposed to be a mother. There's a desire in my heart. Like, people grow up and they're like, oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be whatever. Me, I was like, yo, I want to be a mother. Like, I want to raise my children, love them, instill the love of Jesus in their heart, see them grow up, you know, and just be the home that they feel the most welcomed, where they want to bring their friends around, where they want to come back home, they want to raise their family around. So that was just always my desire. I mean, I was having a Pinterest of activities to do with your children before even children were like in my house, right? So like, that desire was just there, and I knew, hey, God has a promise in my heart. So what is he doing here? What's going to happen? So when we were living in Maryland, God brought us back to my hometown here in New York. And I was really blessed because he started surrounding us with close people in my family who have adopted. And they really started gently push us into the direction of making that leap to do it, you know. So we went ahead, we signed up with our local foster care program. We went through all the classes and the trainings and the background checks and the home studies and everything you can think of. And it was just a very exciting time. We did it during the fall, which is definitely one of my favorite times. So, you know, having that date night to go to a training class with my chai latte in one hand and my excitement about being a mother, I think just made it even 10 times better. But We just got to meet so many amazing couples that we're still great friends with today that went through the program with us, who are now adopting. So it's just amazing to see it. And through us going through this program that they encouraged us to go through, we even were able to be an inspiration for others to go through that program too, and see the children that are in their homes and the love that they've given. But it was a scary thing, because one of the things that I was struggled with was I wanted to adopt. I didn't want to foster care because I was afraid to, you probably hear other people say, well, I don't know if I could take it if they took the child away from me. So my cousins, the family members that God placed in our heart, really showed us the beauty. And even if it's just for a day, 2 days, you just don't know the life impact you're going to have on somebody. So once we started putting our selfishness away, putting it to a side, I feel like that's when God started opening up great doors for us. And then the little girl was placed in her home. And let me tell you, God had something so huge and so in store for us that we did not even know that was going to happen, okay? It's just, we got the call, and I just felt this instant peace in my heart. Now listen, we got many calls, okay? So it wasn't like our first call. We got many, many calls. But when we got this call, it was just different. My husband and I just like, it's time. We're supposed to take this little girl in. And so we did. And I remember anticipating the wait for her. I was up in the lobby, and I was just waiting for this person to come with her to place her in my home. And I felt like I was stirring in my heart, hey, you're about to lay eyes on your daughter. And I was like, hold up, that is so me right now. That is not God. I'm just thinking about this because I want to adopt this child, right? So I was like pushing those feelings totally aside, because I was like, no, Kenyatta, you're doing this because you're gonna bless somebody's life, okay? And then the little girl was placed. It still was in the individual's hands. She was like crouched, very timid. And then when she looked up at me, I swear my heart was just like, oh my gosh, like I've seen you before. Like all I could think of was like, I've seen this little girl before. In my dreams, I've seen her. And it was like, my heart like quickened, and it was like, there you are. I've been looking for you. Now again, I was like, yo, you're crazy. You need to put those emotions aside right now. Okay. So I was just like talking. I was like, okay, you need to put that aside. And we quickly just fell in love with her. It was definitely a rough couple weeks. I could tell you, so much credit for you moms out there who have colicky babies, because I was just like, come on now, she is 2 and she is crying like crazy. Now I know she's fearful and scared and everything, but she was definitely going through some hard stuff for the first 2 weeks, just crying. I was on the phone with my mother-in-law going, oh my gosh, what do I do? On the phone with my church ladies going, I need help. I need prayer. I need someone to, come and help me. I was even knocking on my cousin's door being like, hey, do you mind if you help me out for a little bit? I'm just exhausted. And I remember sleeping on their couch while they were with her, pretending to sleep, because I was just like, okay, I just need a few more minutes. Like, I'm just so scared. I was afraid to be left alone with her, afraid that I wasn't going to be enough or know exactly what she needed. So it was a really trying time, but definitely a time that bonded me to her. And I will never trade it for the world. So hopefully that gives you a good introduction to what I'm hoping, what I wanted to share with you. First of all, just a little bit of my story, but I want to cover so much. I want to talk about, hey, what is my relationship with the biological parents, the biological family? What did the last year look like when it came to visits, people in and out of my home, making every visit with biological mom, biological dad. There's just so much there. What were my doubts? What was the roller coasters we were on when it came to, just our emotions and how we handle that and what we did to really cope with what was coming, what was happening. So there's so many things I want to be able to talk to you about. But hey, if you related to me in any way, or if you have any questions or anything like that, please put it below. I've never done that before. I always see them say like, yo, put it below, give me a thumbs up. You don't have to do any of that, but I would love to start a dialogue and be asked questions, because I think that's the best way to really meet someone where they're at. It's like, hey, what questions do you have? How can I help you do that? So anyway, throughout the video, you're gonna probably have seen pictures of my beautiful girl and my beautiful boy, and I'm just excited. And not only that, but some amazing, exciting things have happened even today that I can't really talk about yet. But man, God is on the move, and I'm just so glad I get to be a part of this ride, and I can't wait to see them grow up and hopefully, be the men and the women I've always prayed that, God would use me to do. So anyway, thank you.